Will Conor McGregor have a successful return in the main event of UFC 329 in his rematch against Max Holloway? See who fighters are picking in the latest edition of MMA Pros Pick.
It's a good fight. It's kind of hard to say who I think. I would have to go with Max having that edge because he's been more active. Conor hasn't been active. They're fighting at 170, so that does give Conor an edge because he's fought at 170 before, and Conor hasn't. I mean, and Max hasn't. But just we're gonna have to see.
Holloway. Again, I think he knocks him out. I don't think anyone can really argue that McGregor's hungry like he used to be. Is he hungry enough to be getting in the gym and doing the things he has to do, doing that hour of bag work, doing those hours of drilling? I don't know. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I believe Holloway's hungrier. I believe he's more locked in, and he's gonna win.
Yeah, I do think he wins. I do think he wins. I do think there's a lot of questions about how McGregor, like his lifestyle outside the cage, and then being able to train, being able to juggle everything. And again, going back to what Marvin Hagler said back in the day, man, it's hard to get up and run whenever you're sleeping in silk pajamas, So how much is he really going out there and training? How much is he really just putting up for show? We won't know until the fight. And I like my chances with Holloway. Again, he's been way more active. He's been in the gym. And especially even in his last fight, he didn't take much damage. So for me, I'm thinking it's more of a Holloway win. And again, also he's one of my favorite fighters. So I'm definitely going Holloway. But I'm looking at it from the outside perspective. There is that X factor of Conor McGregor coming at actually better. But again, in MMA, the older you get, it's usually a slow decline. And the way he looked his past couple, I'm not 100% sold on McGregor right now. So I'm going Holloway all day.
I think if Holloway can get him tired, Holloway will win.
I'm gonna have to go with Holloway. I think Holloway's just been super consistent. He's had losses and everything, but he's just been pretty consistent throughout his whole career. He's had a very long career in the UFC. So I'm gonna go with Max on that one. It's crazy that it's at welterweight too, but I'm gonna go with Max.
Man, I love Holloway. I always grew up watching him. I met him as a nice dude and stuff like that. And Conor obviously coming back, and I think it's in a higher weight class. No, he's welterweight.
Yeah, it's welterweight, and yeah.
So I think obviously so you'd be surprised because Conor has that accuracy and then that counter striking and stuff like that. So I'm very interested. But I if I had to pick, I think I'm picking Max.
Actually, I like Conor. I think Conor gonna win. Because this fight will be
170.
170, yeah, 170. Conor has more strength, more power, and for Holloway, I think he will slow down himself because his weight, he's big. He's not like a fix 145 that fast, so he gonna be slower. And I think Conor got more power and knocked out power. And this fight definitely gonna be, stance fight, right? Striking. Yeah, both of them strikers, so it's gonna be a good fight. But I think Conor will win. Yeah, more chance in the fight.
Man, I'm gonna say Holloway just because he's been active. Very active, but I mean, I don't know. Anything can happen. Conor has that power. They're fighting at 170. Conor's probably been at 170 for a while. I think this is Max's first fight at 170. So, I mean, who knows? This is a toss-up for me. It might be a toss-up.
I'm gonna go Max Holloway. I think he'll actually probably finish him.
Yeah, I got to go with Max. I feel like anytime someone has 4 or 5 years off, it's not great. And we just saw this recently with Ronda Rousey and Gina. Time away doesn't do you any good, especially when you're getting older And yeah, I think Max handles it. He's fought the best in the world. He's continued to fight the best in the world. He's not taking any time off. I think being in 170 doesn't hurt him at all. It's not like Conor's going to come in and try to grapple him. So I'm going to go Holloway, and I'm going to go Holloway by finish.
Max is always down for a fight. He's a current guy. You know, he still trains. He still lives the lifestyle. Conor's had a lot of ups and downs with doing that. You know, we no longer see the Conor of old, and he is a good talker. So even though he may say that he is doing fantastic and the videos look great, it's not quite certain if that's the case. So I think Conor's very skilled. I think he's probably one of the most skilled, and his early fights show that. His initial run shows that. So I don't think we'll get quite that, but I'm hoping that it's a good fight. It's a little bit back and forth, and I don't see it going the distance, but I don't know who I lean towards, honestly. I mean, I would have to say Max is just, like I said, living in the moment, living as a fighter, and that it possibly goes his way.
I'd probably say Max Holloway. I mean, he looked beautiful against his fight against Justin Gaethje. Conor's obviously been out for years. I don't even know how long. Like, has it been 5? I don't even know. But you know, Max is always active. He's constantly improving, especially his last fight. I could see Max taking it home for sure.
Oh my gosh. Let's see what side. If McGregor learned, he should win, right? But I just don't think he has. It's been too long. I think Max Holloway just breaks him mentally, and because that's the name of the game. Like, all the techniques and stuff, and you're skillful. It's who can perform at that intensity, at that that thin line. I just call it that thin line because it's such a thin line to keep mentally while you and another great fighter combat each other. It's just these small decision makings, right? And if you get tired, which I don't think Max Holloway will do, you create more errors. And I think how Conor McGregor has been living his life, I think he's going to make a lot of errors.
Let's go. The Mac Dog is back. Yeah. It's good to see Conor coming back, man. I ain't going to lie. I doubted him for a while. Man, Conor was somebody to see. He's still like the biggest name in this sport. So I'm looking forward to Conor coming back. Big layoff, everything he's been through, and still going to come back and smoke. I don't know. I think he's going to do really well against Max Holloway. Like, Max, you know, coming off a loss with Charles Oliveira, it's not going to be so much of a grappling match. You know, they're going to be striking. Max is going to be putting on the volume. I just think Conor's power. At the same time, I just think his hunger. You know, he's been through a lot. I'm excited to see what Conor comes back and does. For sure, he's going to do big numbers. We'll see what kind of fight he comes with. I'm going with Conor on this fight.
Dude, it's you know, you've gotta go with Holloway. I understand that he has to go up a little bit more in weight, but Max isn't a small guy, and dude, he's been in there fighting the best guys in the world for the last 5 years. You know, the last time Conor McGregor won a fight was actually the night my oldest daughter was born, and like she just finished kindergarten. So, you know, there's been people that have been born and gone to kindergarten. Shoot, last time Conor McGregor won a fight, I hadn't even made my amateur MMA debut yet. So I'm going with Max Holloway to win that fight, probably by finish as well.
And that's fire, man. Like I said, man, you can't never. It's hard, man. Hey, the matchmakers been doing their job. It's hard to go against either one of them, man. But like I said, when I'm as a fighter, as an active fighter, you can't count out McGregor at all, right? You know he been grinding. You know he ready to make his return. But it's just like when I look at fights, and it's like Max Holloway actually still been out here active fighting, you know. So I would have to give him the edge a little bit, even though it's at 170. I don't know how that might play a factor with McGregor, but at the same time, if I had to make a call, I had to go with Holloway just because he been more active. But you know, man, McGregor, man, that's McGregor's McGregor. You know what I mean? He gonna you know what I'm saying? He gonna shut it down. He gonna shut Vegas down.
That's tough. I think that's a tough one, just because it's at welterweight. Max is moving up, obviously, but I feel like Conor kind of like walks around at that, if not a little bit less than that. Yeah, I would say he probably hits harder at 170, but I'll also say Max probably hits harder at 172. But I will say I do think that Conor's going to come out and grapple. So I'm going to say that it might be like their first fight, and Conor potentially could win a decision. Is it 5 rounds?
5 rounds, yeah.
Oh, no. All right, I'm gonna switch this up. I'll go Max. I'll go Max winning this fight.
I think Holloway gets it for sure. I think Conor's just been away for too long, and prime Conor was so fucking cool. Like his mindset on everything, his mentality, his belief in himself, his discipline, and just his thought process and the way he went about training and fighting, and his mobility, and all of that. He was a huge inspiration. But I don't know. I think I don't think he's the same McGregor that was.
I think it's exciting for sure. I'm looking forward to it. When I heard there was a possibility, I was like, that's the fight to make. And, you never count Conor out, but I think Max has his number. I think Max will have his number. I think Conor was a little bit more fluid back in the day, and his kicking game added a different type of dynamic to the danger with him. And I think that since he's went so boxing heavy, I think that there's going to be some things that play really well into Max's game. So I will be going, and I will be thinking Max is going to win. But I'm excited just to watch those guys fight. They're both legends, and whoever wins, we all win.
I think because it's gonna be welterweight, right? I think Conor McGregor.
Probably Holloway based off of activity. I think for me, I think it was the same thing as like Diaz and Perry. Like Diaz was out the game for a while, man. It's hard just to jump back, especially when you got a guy that's been doing bare knuckle and bog and just staying active. I think activity is just massive in this game. I think it's the reason champions are built, and how you move yourself forward. So I think Max just fought. Even though it was Charles, he just fought, and then he fought Gaethje again. So he's been relatively active compared to Conor. So I think he'll probably pull this one out. But it's great to see Conor back for sure.
I mean, just judging by ring rust from Conor McGregor's side, I think Max Holloway, he's been very active. It is a welterweight fight, I believe, right?
It is, yeah.
I mean, that's a bit crazy because obviously Max Holloway, I think, looks good at 155. So it'll be weird for him adjusting to a bit of a bigger, obviously McGregor looks massive these days. So having to adjust that new weight class might play a factor. But I think because of the activity of Holloway, I've got to give it to Holloway.
The kid in me wants to see Conor do it. Obviously a big Conor fan. I think most of the kids from my generation grew up watching him and were inspired by him. And I think a small part of us will always believe that he's still capable of doing it. I'm a big Max Holloway fan too, but honestly, I think it's an interesting matchup, especially it happening at 40 or at 70 is the most intriguing part. Like Max has been around for a long time. He's had so many fights. I know Conor's older than him, but I think in terms of fight time, Max has probably taken more strikes and has had more fights. And I think in his last couple of fights, we've seen a little bit of the mystique of the chin has not been there as much as it has after his Ilya Topuria fight. Looks like Dustin Poirier dropped him, and I don't know, man. I think Conor could do something. I think he could do something. I think it's a much more interesting fight than the books have it. I think he's like a minus 400 Max Holloway. So I'm not sure, but I mean, my brain says Max, my heart says Conor. I'll put it that way.